I'm Isabel Buckley, the artist behind Izzy's art. And one of the things I get asked about quite a lot is how can I take a good photo of my drawings with just the camera on my phone? Well, today I'm going to give you my top 7 easy tips to help you get better photos of your artwork. The key thing is to make sure that you use some natural lighting. Indoor lighting can make it look more yellow and give uneven lighting and shadows. The easiest way is to use a windowsill or a glass door. You can photograph your work outside, but you want to make sure you avoid direct sunlight as it can create some harsh shadows. When using a window or a glass door, the lighting is obviously coming from one side. You may probably find that the paper looks whiter near the window and more in shadow further away. The easiest way to eliminate this is to use white paper and reflect the light back. I've just got a sketchbook here and I'm going to just pop it here, and as you can see it's much brighter when I add the white in. The light is reflecting from that side, it's bouncing back, and then it gives light. If I take it away, it looks a little bit darker. Add the light as reflection, it's a bit lighter. Avoid having the light on in the room behind you, or you will find your shadow goes across the picture. If there is a light from behind you in some way, then step to the side slightly so you don't create the shadow. Now make sure your camera, the photograph you're taking, is parallel to the paper. Holding the camera so it is directly above the picture, not off at an angle like this. If you hold it at an angle like this or this, then your drawing is going to look distorted. When you hold it directly over the top, you want to make sure that it's not wonky like this, but that the lines on the edge of the frame of the photo are parallel on all 4 sides to the edges of your drawing. Use the camera settings. Now, don't panic. You might be thinking, I've no idea what I'm doing with the settings. There are a couple very simple things you can do to improve the quality of your photo. First, make sure that the flash is off. That's this button up here on my iPhone. It's a little lightning symbol, and the line through it obviously means that the flash is off. Most phones have a camera with that symbol on it, so that should be fairly straightforward to locate and make sure that it is off. Secondly, you can alter the exposure. Now, if you tap on the iPhone, this little up arrow here, it brings these icons out here. Now, there's lots of different ones. You don't need to be worrying about them all unless you obviously want to learn about them. But one that's quite simple to use is this plus and minus one. Now, this alters the exposure. If you find your photo is looking too dark, for example, then you can just slide it and lighten it. Obviously, you can see this is far too light in this case. If it's obviously too light, then you can go the other way and darken it, which obviously is too dark. So you just need to play and find something that's about right for you in the round the middle and leave it there. If you do have a different phone camera, just try Googling how to change exposure for the particular camera that you have. When you are trying to stand above your artwork, sometimes you might be in a funny position. It can be quite tricky to get it lined up and actually stay still and press the button all at the same time. What you can do is get your settings. So I'm going to press the little arrow here and bring up the options. And there's one with like a little clock on it. If you tap it, on mine I have a choice of 3 seconds or 10 seconds. I'm going to select 3 seconds. Now this means I can get lined up I can press the button and then I can stay still and it will take the picture without me obviously trying to press the button and keep still at the same time. Use the edit tools. Now, once you've got your photo, it's still not looking completely amazing to share. First of all, I've got mine sideways, so I want to flip it round. And also, I have all this extra paper around the artwork. Obviously, as we have taken the photo parallel to the picture, it should be quite easy to crop. So the first thing I'm going to do is, when I'm viewing my photo in my photo album, is I'm going to press edit. Now, to rotate it, I have a little symbol here with these arrows. So it's quite easy to know which one is going to rotate my picture. So I'm just going to press that. And then at the top of my screen, I have a little arrow, so it goes left. Now, I only need to press it once to get it that far, okay? Now, this button here also does the cropping for me. As you can see, it's come up with lines all around. So what I want to do is I'm going to use my finger and I'm going to drag in those corners to the edges of my pictures. Now, if you took your picture parallel, then hopefully that should come to the edges of your picture and be pretty straight. And then you can just, if you need to alter it, you can always go in or out to suit your needs. And once you have done that, then you can just press done. And then I can see it. It's a nice square and I've got no extra paper around it. Now, if you're looking at it, and let's say you're not completely happy with the lighting, hopefully you will be having followed the other steps, but if you're not, then you can just click on edit again, and then you will see some options. Now, depending on what camera phone you have, depends on what options that you have. But generally, like I've got this one here, circle with dots around, and it brings up these choices here, and it tells you what each of them are. Now, there's loads. You don't need to worry about them all. You've got auto, which will try and correct it itself. Now, if you press this, it may do the job for you, or it may look like it completely off. Or if you just go along, you've got things like exposure here, if you didn't correct it when you took the photograph. So you can always change the exposure, and you can obviously go lighter and darker. I'm pretty happy with the exposure of this one. And then you can always just have a little play through the other ones, but I really wouldn't worry too much. It's just if you find it's come out a little bit dark, then that's quite easy to solve by going into the exposure.